As the writer of the Accountants Millionaires Club and the founder of the Accountants Millionaires Club, most of my day job is spent helping small accountancy firms grow. And in the last 8 months, we've gone through a really tricky transition in our own business. It's a really tricky growth transition. And I went to look for books on the subject. I went to look for experts on the subject. And you know what? I didn't find any. I found very little that was giving me the insight about the mindset and the leadership shifts I needed to make to go from 2 to 10 people. And so this is a series of 9 videos about what you need to do in your small accountancy practice to grow it so you go from 2 to 10 people. And this hit us about last year. I was doing the plans and I was looking at my numbers and they just didn't add up. You know, I'd put some ambitious figures to grow my top line, but when I looked at my profit line, it was tiny. It hardly budged. And it suddenly hit me, that realization, that hit to the gut, that I was going to work really hard to become a very busy fool. And I see a lot of this with small accountancy practices, that the fees you charged when it was you and maybe a trainee or you and an admin was fine. But suddenly when you add in an office, when you add in a part qualified or a qualified, suddenly the fees that you're charging, the prices you're charging are just not a big enough margin. And at some point you are going to have to rethink your prices, and they generally go up. In fact, there isn't an accountant that hasn't joined the Accountants Millionaires Club that we haven't told them to put their prices up. And this is a key bit of that growth, particularly when you're going from 50, 60 grand to 300 plus grand. There will always be pockets of clients that are unprofitable, that are low fees. And as always, it's the 80% of your clients that are only responsible for 20% of your profit. And it's those 80% that you really need to look at for how can we actually change that. Or 20% of your clients are responsible for 80% of your profit. So that's partly one of the reasons why I talked about this mental toughness. You've got to be able to, take tough decisions. And one of them is to go to your clients and say, I need to put my prices up. That is never easy. But you'll find that part of your leadership focus needs to be valuing you and your firm for more of what you do. It's very easy in the early days to write yourself as just a small practice. But if you're going to get from those 2 to 3 sort of staff members to those 8 to 10 staff members, you've got to be more than just a small accountancy practice. You've got to be able to put your prices up so that you can generate the 30-40% net profit margin so you can really grow and scale your practice.